I want to mention that I'm wearing charcoal.
Bravo.
Good evening. I am Ann Mooney, as you mentioned, with Sparano Mooney Architecture, and it occurred to me earlier today that even though I do have a home here and an office here, I probably traveled the farthest to get here tonight, as my partner and I have been working in Italy on a project in Rome. So he's there now and sends his warm regards from warmer Rome, and I'm here tonight, delighted to be with you. A little background on us. We formed our office in 1997 in Los Angeles, and today we have two offices, one in downtown Los Angeles at the brewery, and then one here in Utah in Salt Lake City's art space. I studied architecture in New York at Columbia, and I studied at SciArc in Los Angeles and also in their Ticino, Switzerland campus, which is a place that resonates in many ways with this region. John has a graduate diploma from the Architectural Association in London and has worked in London, Washington, D.C., and Los Angeles. And then I began my career in the office of Eric Owen Moss in Los Angeles, who was my professor and now is the head of the school there. Our practice is focused primarily on design work in the American West. We have projects in Utah, Wyoming, Montana, New Mexico, and of course a body of work in Southern California. Our work is guided by and grows out of four primary concerns. The first is a commitment to a research-based conceptual design process. And we use a heuristic working method to test our ideas and mine their potential in architecture. This slide shows some of our process work with the conceptual constructs on the right side. Secondly, our work is designed from the perspective of creating powerful experiences through architecture. And we use the devices of light, materials, of course the sculpting of space, but we also have a real interest in scale and proportion in our work. And this image shows the underlying proportional logic that is embedded in the design. We move back and forth from the digital and analog worlds to explore design solutions. And today, many firms are leaving behind the physical models. We still see value in employing both state-of-the-art technologies, digital technologies, but also very traditional methodologies in our process, hand drawing, and a lot of physical models. As the architecture is experience-based, we are concerned with how space is experienced through movement. In this museum project, for example, the idea was articulated in a wooden screen that wraps the building and opens and closes the surface based on the visitor's position. And from this perspective, the building can look solid, but as you move around it, the porous nature of the envelope can be seen and revealed. The ideas follow through into the details of the design, and in the case of this museum, to the interiors and exhibition spaces. We design movable casework for the client and blackboard components for changing exhibitions and graphics. Finally, there's a recognition and appreciation in our work for the lineage of architecture and for the position along a continuum that any new project will find itself. And to this end, we're interested in creating connections in our work to the context of the project. And this involves an examination of both the physical and the cultural forces that are at play. Here's an urban view of a recently completed church. In this project, we studied Christian architectural precedents that you see here and translated some of the key ideas of the thickened and programmed perimeter walls, and also looked at these forms that were very conducive to gathering. We translated these into contemporary architectural expression grounded in more timeless principles. Here's the model of that project. You can see that thickened wall. The perimeter wall contains smaller chapels, statuary, and occupiable niches. In our work, you can also see the effort we take to create architecture which serves both the individual and the collective. Again, shaping space through light, materials, and form. And people tell me this is a great smelling space. It's all cedar. We've always been very interested in the expressive potential of materials and their detailing, their color, their texture, the play of light against a surface, and how that light changes during the day and at night and from season to season. In this project, the Corten steel cladding weathers over time as a tangible expression of change. The material is also crafted in a way that links us to architectural traditions using skilled craftspeople, yet executed in a modern way. We're interested in producing architecture that is open to interpretation, that's not served up as a completed whole, that welcomes inhabitation, occupation, and yes, even by dogs, and transformation of the architecture and also the occupants. We try and design things that will age well, that incorporate the idea of time into their form and their skins, and that also embody an environmental ethic. And although we always work to meet the utilitarian requirements of our clients, we equally commit ourselves to transcend use and program and place and time by creating work that's flexible and open-ended. And to wrap up, we've also been asked to talk about our awards and publications. Our work has been honored with 16 design awards from our peers over the last 10 years, and this includes from the people at the the American Institute of Architects. And it's been featured in books, magazines, and exhibitions in the United States, Canada, England, Germany, Italy, Japan, and Russia. We bring a global perspective, but John and I and our team draw a lot of inspiration from this place. I was born in Montana and grew up in the West, and John was drawn here from the East Coast, really because of its landscape and the vast and largely unrealized architectural potential that exists here. And today we're focused on creating enduring and memorable architecture that emerges from this context and unfolds over time in rich and complex ways. Thank you.